here in the Estadio do Dragão. 50,000 people packed in here, mostly supporting Porto, of course, but I think we can expect some real excitement in this particular match. I know there's a suggestion from the studio that there may be some caginess about the game, but such the stakes for this match. I suspect there will be some wonderful attacking play, and there's certainly enough players in that Benfica side to deliver just that, with Simão on the left, Nuno Gomes through the middle. Fonseca has been selected to play on that side also, and it's a very attacking team with Paulo Jorge playing wide on the right. So the Porto side too, full of attacking players, and of course with that young man, Frank Stapleton, Anderson up front.
Yes, at 18 years of age, you're just looking at him to develop even more, but at the moment he is a potent force. We'd expect that he will be over his injury. I think if there'd be any doubts about it, I don't think the manager would have put him in tonight. But there's a great atmosphere in the stadium, and this is one of the big games in the Portuguese league.
El Clásico, they're calling it in Portugal, and it certainly has all the makings. A lot at stake here, with a 3-point lead enjoyed by Porto over Benfica at this stage, but there's a game in hand for Benfica. They could go level with a game in hand, and of course with Sporting also very much in the mix. It's a very interesting top of the Portuguese league, there's no doubt about that. So we're all set for the match to start. The formality is just about over, and the enthusiasm in the stadium just exactly what you would expect here. The referee making some very clear instructions there for the two captains, and you can see that he himself looks a bit tense, Frank, doesn't he, the referee?
Well, I think when you're doing a big game like this, what the thing is he won't want to do is make any mistakes. It's only a mistake that's going to cost one team the match. So he'll want to get it up and running, and he'll want an easy start. But who's to say that he will have one, because both these teams want to win. And Benfica, with that game in hand, if they were to get a real positive result here tonight, I think that they'd look at it and say, well, we'll be up there at the top of the league, because the game in hand is against Belenenses, which you would expect them to win.
Well, the real enthusiasm, they care deeply, the Porto fans, about what's going to happen here. And we had a look there on Helder Postiga, who scored 5 times for Porto this season, a man well known to Tottenham Hotspur supporters, but a man who has struggled somewhat in England and has not struggled here. Lucilio Baptista is in charge, and he does indeed look very tense, and he will be looking for a very steady, calm start to the match. I'm not sure he can be guaranteed that. So it will be Lisandro Lopez who will start the match. Jesualdo Ferreira looks on. Both coaches had a different approach to this match. Fernando Santos thinking that it wasn't so important, the top team's performances, whereas Ferreira seems to believe that it's the matches between these two sides and these two top sides and Sporting which will define the season. So underway, and Porto trying to get their players forward from the midfield area and support the front as early as they can. They certainly have plenty of attacking players coming from midfield. This is Jorge Fucile who will take the throw. Uruguayan international. The only one of 6 players signed by Porto in the close season who's in the starting lineup. Benfica coping very calmly with that. No difficulty in getting the ball clear, but they're still having to take time to get the game to settle, get the ball on the ground. This is very unusual in Portugal to play head tennis like this. So order restored as the ball is taken to the ground, with Petit trying to get the ball forward. Trying to link there with Simão. Simão has a little bit of a word with his direct opponent. Looked as though it was Bruno Alves who going to cross. So Benfica now first chance to attack the Porto defence. Trickery in footwork with Simão playing it across. Nuno Gomes in the box, couldn't make anything of that, and it's brought clear. Anderson playing into space and turned away to safety. No fuss about that clearance. Ricardo Rocha. Fucile will take the throw. Well, these are very tense moments in the match, there's no doubt about that. These sides are clearly concerned, and that's a Strong challenge there on the clearance. Postiga making a real nuisance of himself there.
Well, this is something that Lissau is not used to, people closing him down in his own penalty box. But they set out their intention from the start, put them under pressure. Well, they say all the players, they look a little bit tense. Just take a few minutes just to settle down and get into their usual way of playing.
Well, the opening stage is always very important as sides establish themselves in the game. But the quality of play at the start has been very ragged indeed right in these opening minutes. So a long, hopeful ball, and it finds the target. That's good play. Marek Cech turning it back. Bruno Alves in possession. Cech again, Slovakian international. It's better play from Benfica. Good passing movements. Katsourannis here involved, the Greek international. Long pass back there to involve Keem in goal. Possession given away rather cheaply in midfield and won back very effectively indeed by Katsourannis. Here's Simao having a run there at Pepe. Simao again. Well, that's great play by Simao. He's bundled over surely by Pepe. He still retains possession. The referee allows the game to continue. Well, very tough exchange there involving Pepe and Simao. Snapshot from very long range, unlikely to trouble anyone. Well, that's a little warning there. Paulo Jorge trying to get himself involved in the game. That's Simao's clash here with Pepe.
There's no doubt that he's, well, I think this long shot is a bit ambitious. I think Simao, certainly the supporters see him as a threat, otherwise they would be whistling. He's a very, very talented player. I mean, the pitch tonight is perfect. Great surface to play on.
Foul by Lissau, they're giving a free kick to Porto. They have another one that's going to be taken correctly this time. The referee wasn't satisfied with the first attempt at the free kick. Anderson very strong for one so young in possession. Giving it away though. Petit turns it back. Simao gets some support on the outside from Leo. Always available, the Brazilian fullback, for that kind of support. Ricardo Rocha leans in with a challenge, and the Porto attack is halted, but Simao has been prominent early in the game. That will please the Benfica supporters, a small number here. The angle ball goes straight through to Keem in goal.
It's all very tight. There isn't much time on the ball for the players. Certainly Benfica just trying to hold the line there on the edge of the box. Play the offside. Unfortunately, it was well marshalled in front of the two centre-backs.
Better build-up play here. Pepe has the ball playing in wide. A lot expected Ricardo Quaresma on the right. A long-range effort. Hit strongly by Lucho Gonzalez, straight at goalkeeper Keem. That will do him the world of good to have a good, clean, safe catch at the start of the match. Nuno Gomez clashing there with Pepe, and the result is a throw.
Yeah, this is the shot straight at the goalkeeper. But then again, we do know Keem can make elementary errors, as we saw against Aves.
That's good play again by Simao. The cross was too high. 3 in the box for that for Benfica. They have come here with a positive attitude. Fernando Santos said that would be the case. They weren't prepared to come and try and play for a draw.
I think it's important to get a good result before the European game in midweek.
Paulo Asunciao. Cech plays it long. Slipped there by Lissau, but free kick's been given. Helder Postiga asking the referee Baptista to explain that decision.
Just a little. I think that about explains it. He's going to put him under a lot of pressure tonight. Try and get behind him, not give him time on the ball.
Well, clearly Porto don't have too high an opinion of Keame's ability with the ball at his feet, because they are closing him down very quickly indeed.
Well, the goal kick, when the crowd were whistling when he was taken before, he kicked it straight out of play. Obviously a little bit nervous.
Good Chile going forward. Held up well. Samao doing some of the unglamorous work. Now Anderson, very skillful indeed. Slide of foot was good, but stumble, and he's a little bit lucky, I think, to get a free kick for that. Rueful smile on the face of Leo. I think he's entitled to be rueful about that.
No, I think he'd done enough for the ball to go onto the second defender, and he's looking for a yellow card for him.
18 years old, he's learned how to ask for a yellow card for an opponent.
Well, I just think it's not something you want to see in the game, but any advantage they're looking to get, these games are huge for both sides.
Anders himself will take the responsibility here. He's really quite remarkable for one so young. A very good ball, the deflection almost took it in. Well, he wants a corner kick, he's going to get one. Hit this extremely well, and it was so close from the deflection.
Well, the wall did its job, but the goalkeeper's in no man's land. There's no chance for him. But that's under the bar. He doesn't know where it's going.
That's awkward too. A shooting chance here, a great blow by Keame. Well, that was Lucho Gonzalez with a point-blank shot. Real determined attacking play here by Porto. Disappointing ball into the box. Another chance here, if it can be controlled by Bruno Alves. A clash there in the middle of the field. The free kick goes to Benfica.
You don't see that too often. The ball in on the chest of both players. This is where it ended up. This is funny. I think he saw these are two defenders getting in each other's way. Great save by the goalkeeper. Didn't know much about it, but closed the angle down brilliantly.
Stood up well to that. This is Losao. And that was Fonseca, just blocked off there by Bruno Alves. Well, the Porto team, largely South American in nature. Remarkable number in the side. Only, I think, 3 Portuguese players in the lineup. Goalkeeper Hilton from Brazil. Chile from Uruguay. And then there's Paulo Assuncio, Brazilian. Lucho Gonzalez, Argentinian. So too is Lisandro Lopez up front. Anderson's Brazilian. Marek Čech, Slovakian. Well, hold up here, a bang in the head. Samao is down.
And that is it, pull back. Just caught him with his knee.
Hands all over him there. Well, these supporters reacting. Lucho Gonzalez, the culprit. Still not settling to a pattern of play here on either side. They're finding it difficult to find room to play. Closing down has been very effective so far. That's better play from Benfica. Wide here for Paulo Jorge. Held up by Čech, who has the throw.
Well, they really are going to miss Mikkeli tonight. He has been their goal scorer and creative part of the team. See, that's 2 yellow cards last week. Can't play tonight, but has been at the top of his form. He didn't play obviously so well against Celtic, but he's still a threat. We saw it at home recently. Very much.
Mikkeli's been a real threat up front for Benfica. No doubt about that. On loan from Juventus. Hilton's long clearance, looking for the header on by Lopez. Postiga turning. The snapshot's good, it's got in! Porto have the lead! Held out Postiga with the help of a wicked deflection. Well, there's a real festival around the stadium here. A real stroke of fortune for Porto. Well, they have the vital breakthrough early in the match. Keane was helpless. Well, an impassive coach looking on. Well, did it come off? Alessandro.
Well, it didn't look like there was any danger here. As the ball
did,
came in.
yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing the goalkeeper could have done about it. I think he'd have saved the first one easily.
Came off the thigh of Alessandro Lopez.
Well, he knew nothing about it, but he'll still accept it as his goal. Last Porto player to touch it. And he needed to do a little bit of luck in this game, particularly in the big matches, and they certainly got it there. Because I felt Postiga's turn wasn't really didn't have momentum in the shot. It was never going to beat the goalkeeper.
Well, here they come again. Buoyed up by that rather fortunate goal. There's no doubt that the goalkeeper was saved Postiga's shot. There's no real power in that, but Nelson working hard there. Having to concede the corner, though, under pressure again from Postiga. Goal number 4 of the season for Alessandro Lopez. Awkward there for Keane. He did well in the end to beat the ball away. Well, that gives Porto a platform now. They can try and put their passing game together. Challenge was good on Postiga. And an ambitious ball attempted there by Quaresma.
Well, he looks a different player, doesn't he, Postiga, in this team? Showed nothing like this at Tottenham. Good block by Nelson. But he's having the ball into feed, joining things up. Playing at the top of his game, confidence-wise.
Quaresma with a short corner kick. No one going out to deal with that. And this time, the break of the ball goes Porto's way once more. It's going to be Quaresma, formerly of Barcelona. Headed away the near post by Petit. There he got past the deliver. Petit had anticipated that, was closing it down very rapidly.
And they've got to get through this period, don't they, Benfica, because they've been put under a bit of pressure. Haven't really shown any of their attacking abilities yet.
Here's Quaresma again, operating on the left. Beautiful play there, and that's close. That would have beaten Keane in goal. Well, they've been waiting for Quaresma to deliver a big time because he's full of ability, just like this.
I think he meant this. This was not a cross. He meant to bring it back. Didn't quite get the curl he wanted on it. Like, as you agreed, Jot, the goalkeeper's beaten all the way. He does look very nervous, doesn't he? He's not giving the defence too much confidence there.
Well, the champions asserting themselves early in the match. This is Paulo Jorge now, trying to find room for a cross. Look how well he's closed down there. Anderson helping out. Marek Cech. Here's Paulo Jorge again. Well, would have been happy to accept a corner, but didn't get one. Paulo Jorge brought in the close season from Boa Vista. 3 players in the 5 brought in by Benfica by Fernando Santos are on the side. Fonseca, Caceres and Paulo Jorge. Only Rui Costa and Miguelito not performing. Rui Costa still not fully fit. Postiga gives chase willingly again. Ricardo Rocha clears. Careless ball released there. Petit picks it up. Terrier in midfield. This is Leo, gets forward so well from left back. Chance for Leo on his right foot. Well, look how he had to measure that. He had to take time to set himself because he's on the weaker side, but that was close.
This is well thought out build up, using the extra man, and he's come inside, and that's not far away. The goalkeeper's got no way of covering that. He can't see the ball. Too many people in front of him. That's just past the post. I It's the first real threat we've seen from Benfica in this game.
Oh, it's a great little flick on there by Quaresma. This is Paulo Jorge. The reverse pass met with a very solid challenge in the middle of the field there for Porto by Bruno Alves. A little bit of concern there in the face of Fernando Santos. I think it's justified, Frank.
Yeah, they started very slowly. They've been under pressure for most of it. I think what they certainly need is their top players really performing, getting on the ball and doing something. Drag the young ones through.
Bruno Alves making two good challenges there. Still seeing nothing of Nuno Gomes up front. Well, that's not so unusual. He really is there to finish.
Yes, I think he is, but he's important to them tonight, particularly away from home. He's going to be isolated. He needs to try and get hold of the ball. See if he can bring people into it. Might need to take a few knocks, get free kicks, bring the game over, take the pressure off the defence as well. But with his experience, you would expect him in these big games as well to come to the fore.
A little bit of tension on the crowd here. It's all getting a little bit heated around the stadium. So much at stake when these two sides meet. Two of the top three. Benfica now trying to build from the back. Tatarán is playing it across. Samao's come well inside. Leo's on the outside. Looking for good delivery. It's met solidly by Pepe. Well, Pepe and Bruno Alves look pretty formidable at the back for Porto. They go to Hamburg in midweek in the Champions League. Benfica, of course, entertaining Celtic on Wednesday. And Simao got the break of the ball. He's also got some help from Leo. No free kick given there. Anderson's challenge surely looked to be a foul. The referee couldn't have been closer. He saw nothing amiss. And this is Paulo Asunciao. Quaresma gets it back to check. Paulo Asunciao. This Anderson. Getting away from Luisao. Quaresma again. They're a real threat, Porto. They have quality in all sorts of areas, and that's a wonderful goal by Quaresma. Well, he measured the task a few minutes ago, and now he's delivered. Well, I told Benfica he was capable of that. Helton celebrates in goal, but what a wonderful finish. Well, they couldn't have believed this start to the match.
Well, if the first goal was a little bit fortunate, this certainly was, and this is an absolute sublime piece of skill. This time he meant it. They had a warning, but the goalkeeper nowhere near it the second time. Beautiful strike all the way into the net. No reaction from the goalkeeper. He knew he couldn't get it even before it was past him.
And that is why I'm sure, Frank, he's playing on the left side of midfield. Plays on either flank, all right side, but it's that kind of ability, the capacity to score goals like that, which has placed him in that part of the field. 20 minutes gone, 2-0 to Porto. Quaresma gets his third goal of the season, and the Porto fans can celebrate.
I noticed that they give Postiga the goal, the first one. When it did hit Lissandro, but maybe they'll put that right later on. But this is good news for Celtic as well. The Benfica team not playing with a lot of confidence.
It's demoralising this. If it continues in a similar vein. The only consolation about being 2 down for Benfica is there's a long way to go. They've been impressive though, Porto. The champions really have asserted themselves right from the start. Well, 6 attempts on goal in 15 minutes. Jesualdo Ferreira entitled to be very pleased with his team's performance. Here's Czech. still coming forward. Flag is up for offside. That was very tight. Lisandro Lopez caught. And there'll have to be a hold up here. It's Postiga who's taking a knock. Well, Keane will be reflecting on that second goal. He knew he had no chance with the first because of the deflection. The second time, Frank, I still think he had no chance. It was just quality finishing.
No, he couldn't do anything about it. I think most goalkeepers wouldn't. But certainly we've seen from the start what Porto have decided to do is put him under pressure at every chance. The cross is going in. Maybe a kick.
Oh, he got the studs of Luisao inside of the thigh. He's a big man too. Well, could be a change required here, but Postiga is enjoying a rich vein of form. They won't want to lose him. Well, the tackle's flying in here too. Strong one there on Leo. Here's Katsouranis. Well, there's going to be a change potentially. They've been told to warm up properly. Paulo Assunção plays it long for Anderson. Two Brazilians together. Anderson against Luisao. Postiga wants to come back. Trying to get the referee's attention right now. Here's Marek Cech. Anderson trying to go round Luisao. I think he's special already. What about that for delivery? Fantastic ball across by Quaresma. What a bit of play that was on the left flank. Quaresma showing the full range of some marvellous ability.
Well, he's really turning on the style. When you're 2-0 up, you can do that even though it's that early in the game. Well, this had been a goal. Absolutely fantastic. And I don't think the goalkeeper realised how close that was.
Lisandro Lopez it was with a header. Very impressive performance too from Marek Cech, left back. Well, they clearly don't fancy Keane in goal. They're driving balls at goal at every opportunity.
Well, they're totally dominant at the moment. Big hole in front of the centre back, but they're getting pulled all over the place. Either flank. And Quaresma, obviously Postiga, joining everything up. At this moment in time, it's just a shadow of the team we know Benfica are.
Yeah, we've seen them very, very impressive as well as this, but they're just being outplayed for the moment. Good tackle by Katsouranis. Strong tackle at Anderson. Anderson's taking a knock. I'll tell you what though, I think he does look the real deal though, Frank, this man Anderson. Well, this boy Anderson, 18 years old. Katsouranis, I think, pretty pleased to have won that challenge and done some damage.
Nothing wrong with that. Thing is, you're not going to get some of these decisions away from home. The crowd, every minute, every single decision they're questioning, putting the referee under pressure.
Looks a worried man. Fernando Santos. Postiga has come back. Here's how it happened. All very clumsy and awkward.
I think Fernando Santos looks like that all the time. He doesn't ever,
he does,
even when they score 4 goals the other week, didn't smile.
Quaresma again, right to the far post it goes. Oh, a bump there as the goalkeeper came out, but another Lucho Gonzalez again going in on the far post. The referee sorting things out there.
And I think the keeper tried to release the ball quickly.
Well, here's Anderson getting this treatment. Some concern about him. Well, that's him entering the big time when he can expect tackles like that one from Katsouranis. It's an art that's dying a little bit, Frank, but Katsouranis really produced a top-class tackle, really old-fashioned, if you like.
Yeah, and I think, again, he was penalised for it. There it is. Took the ball first, then took the man. Obviously, the crowd are going to... Probably got a heavy knock. Maybe just got under the shin pad.
Well, the young man does look in some distress. I think he might not play too much of a part of the game. That's Fonseca arguing with the referee too vehemently, the Mexican. Virgilio Baptista, the referee, is having a tough time here. It's Bruno Alves, who has a stalwart, really strong figure at the back for Porto.
They haven't had much to defend, really. It's been one-way traffic. The home team have been so much possession, so much threat about all their attacks.
Confident play at the back. Played forward by Pepe, not with as much accuracy as he wanted. Well, we're watching a very fine Porto performance at the moment. And there's going to have to be a major change in the pattern of play if Benfica are to come back here. That's good play by Leo. Fonseca held up. Well, the real problem for Fernando Santos, he's got to find a way to change the pattern of play. Now, whether he does that tactically or by introducing new personnel, who knows, Frank, but he's got to do something. Well, this game is slipping away very rapidly.
Well, what the players basically have to do, Jack, is try and lift their performance level. At the moment, it's just not good enough. They're not able to keep Porto back. And if it keeps on going like this, you know you're going to concede more goals. They need to try and get into the game somehow. It just looks like Anderson's struggling.
Tirana is playing it across. This is Paulo Jorge, switch to the left. Still making nothing of this. Well, Porto waiting a very long time for Anderson to make a recovery. They clearly want him back in the game. He's been very impressive since the start. There's the man who put him there, Katsuranis. Tackle which we thought was perfectly fair, if robust and determined.
Got the ball, got the man.
Well, he was making his appeal straight away. That's not a good sign, is it?
I think he's got to come off. He come into this game on the back of an injury, and of course they'll be very much thinking about. And they've got Champions League as well next week, Porto. So.
Yep, they're off to Hamburg. A discussion going on there among the Benfica players. Well, there's this hold up in the play. Frustration for Anderson. He was very impressive indeed in these opening stages. But I think his day is over. The reaction from the crowd tells the story. They appreciate him all right. Change has been made. No delay in doing that. Raul Meireles comes on. Plays a similar part of the field. No change of shape required for the side. Porto come again. Postiga held up some strong defensive work there by Ricardo Rocha. And Luisao left with a hurried clearance there. Leo thought he was fouled. The referee didn't agree.
Well, they're not letting them breathe for a minute. They're right on top of them. Not giving them any time on the ball. And really they are, when you think Rui Costa's not playing, it's this sort of game that you'd want him in your team to get hold of the ball and able to join the midfield with the forwards and having the ball off the back four, but they just don't have anybody at the moment who's getting on the ball and doing anything for them. So far, second best.
Second best in every department at the moment. Here's Bruno Alves. Recovers from the slip. Still finds Quaresma, who chests that down so well. Looking for Lucho Gonzalez. Paulo Asuncion. Lucho Gonzalez. This is Fucili. good ball retention here by Porto. There's Morelos with the shot. Once again, an indication of what they think of Keem in goal. Long way out, he had options to the right and to the left, but still chose to shoot.
Well, they worked the ball really well, didn't they? They've worked it infield, gave it a spare man in the end. And the shot wasn't a great shot on the goal, but the way this keeper's been playing, you'd fancy that he might drop something.
Porto coming again, another shooting chance this time, and the offside flag was up. That must have been very tight indeed. Sandro Lopez, I think the player flagged.
Yeah, only just.
Very tight decision for the assistant.
They just can't keep hold of the ball. It's not like Benfica at all. Normally get hold and pass it around, and don't seem to have that confidence tonight.
Now a chance for Benfica. Fonseca involved. Challenge comes in at just the right moment for Porto to allow them to break with Lisandro Lopez. Postiga goes to the right. Coming through the middle here was Morelos. This is Quaresma again. Oh, he fancies his chances tonight.
What a fantastic move that was. Committing players. Nice early release. Beautiful first time ball. And I think that if he'd have gone for a bit more power and kept it down, it could have been his second goal of the night.
It's all Porto. They're dominant in every department. And we have seen transformations in matches in the past many times, of course, Frank. But it's very difficult at the moment to see how Benfica are going to change this.
Too many of the players aren't performing, that's the problem. And you can carry maybe one or two, but don't think you need at least 9 of the players' performance, particularly in this sort of arena. They're playing away from home. You need battling qualities, and they're just not showing it at the moment.
Well, how many pensive Benfica bench? Ricardo Rocha's challenge was decisive. Jesualdo Ferreira also contemplating just how he can keep the stranglehold on the game the way it is right now, because they have a grip in midfield, they're solid at the back, they're inventive up front. Certainly will miss the contribution of Anderson. But Raul Morelos, no mean performer himself. 23 years old, joined the club from Boa Vista. Simão. How Benfica needs Simão's skills. The man is the subject of that huge bid from Valencia, which apparently has unsettled him. Petit, the grafter in the centre of midfield, the enforcer.
Well, he's not enforcing anything tonight, I have to say. So far off it, and he's one of their important players in that central position. But he just can't put the passes together. It's a poor start, and they haven't been able to pick it up. Porto taking the initiative.
That's won by very well indeed, the middle of the field there by Paulo Assunção. Excellent play by Postiga, and he's brought to the deck after the pass, belatedly by Petit. Another shooting chance, not quite on the mark, but Postiga has been taken out late there by Petit. And you would actually have a few bob on the fact that Petit will struggle to go 90 minutes without a yellow card in this sort of game. Lucky not to be watched here.
Yeah, but his strength just held the ball out, and then as he went again past, I don't know whether he went down. Just got on with the referee, they just ignored it.
Regular on the Portugal side, international side. Caceres calmly back to Petit. This is better play. Fonseca now. Nuno Gomes has had a touch. Paulo Jorge. Oh, it's gone all the way across! Brilliant save there from Fonseca by Helton. Point blank save by the Brazilian keeper. What a difference this could have made.
Well, this ball comes in and the first defender misses it. Fonseca hits it, the goalkeeper 6 yards out, diving the other way, reacts. What a brilliant save that is. All his weight was going to the left-hand side, stuck his arm out and blocked it.
Corner kick, a good one. Hilton again, brave, going for that under severe pressure. Complaining about a flying elbow. Nuno Gomez was the player challenging.
Well, he's got every right to go for the ball. The keeper commits himself, doesn't he? He's got no divine right just for everybody to just step out of his way and let him go and get it.
Samao's corner kick this time. Miscue by Petit. May turn out to be a reasonable ball though. Ball's going to play there. Throw to Porto. Well, that's a kind of defining moment of the match, because Hilton, who's had nothing to do in the match so far, produces a save like that at that particular moment, because at 2-1, Benfica would have said, we're back in the game.
Yeah, they would have been. They'd take it up to half-time. Then the coach could reassess then. What a save from that distance. Brilliant reflexes.
Cross from Ricardo Rocha to Luisao.
That's the one serious shot they've had a goal in this first half.
Bruno Alves dominant in the air at the back, along with Pepe. Luisao doing well himself here, coming forward, the Brazilian centre-back. Simao now favouring the right-hand side. Switch with Paulo Jorge, who's down on the left. Challenge is good by Cech. Fine start of the match, Marek Cech. Nelson's throw. Bruno Gomez trying to turn. Challenged by Bruno Alves. Fonseca trying to be a nuisance there. Going for the throw. Driven ball from Nelson's a good one. Had to be attacked inside the box by Lucho Gonzalez. The skipper did well to head that on. Bruno Gomez looking for an opportunity. Gomez again. Thumped away safely though by Pepe. Now the counter-attack is on. Sandro Lopez met solidly there in the back. Good challenge by Ricardo Rocha.
Both players committed there. And Sandro walking out from the back, but they've found it fairly easy to get in on that side, I have to say.
Once again, the delivery is good. It had to be cleared there. It was young Nelson, the fullback.
Well, everything about their attacking has been quality. Good delivery, good passing. Maybe the finish hasn't been always quite as good as Quaresma's one, but they're certainly doing all the good work up to it. They've got no answer to it, Benfica.
Here's Quaresma. Another good ball across. The flick on was sound from Lisandro Lopez. Bruno Alves couldn't get on the end of that at the far post. Well, there's real quality in these deliveries from Quaresma. And look at the reaction. Porto supporters savouring every moment. Five minutes left in the first half. That stage of the match again where the next goal is utterly crucial. Lucho Gonzalez, the big influence in midfield. Petit has been able to keep him quiet. Interesting contest that. Lucho Gonzalez. Bit of wrestling there. Will be a free kick to Porto. Leo explains himself. Lisandro Lopez was the victim of the challenge.
Yeah, he got on the wrong side of him. He turned him. The ball come the other side and just dragged him down because he knew that he was going to get behind. They were in big trouble. Still got to defend this.
Quaresma's going to cross. Well, wonderful delivery we've seen from the left. Let's see what he can do from the right. Somebody whipped in with pace, I'm sure. Or he may go for a high one right to the far post, one of the big centre-backs to return the ball. There's pace on the ball, all right. It's well won inside the area by Fonseca. And Benfica still unable to make something of it in the counter-attack. They have a throw, but Porto have all their men back. Simao inside. Catturanis off the pace in the match so far. Here he goes again. One good strike at goal early on, which was impressive. Apart from that, very quiet indeed. This is Simao. Nelson well forward. Well, beautifully policed there by Marek Cech, who's a very impressive left back.
Yeah, I don't think that Nelson had the pace to get past Cech there. I think he was just hoping that he might have got a corner out of it. It was a very poor delivery anyway. But they don't seem to have the energy to be able to keep it Porto. Just stronger in every department, with and without the ball. And one of the coaches feeling down.
Well, Fernando Santos has been in earnest conversation in that technical area. Clearly a discussion in the coaching staff about what they might do for the second half. Josualdo Ferreira can't understand that decision. I think it should have been a Porto ball. Luisao using Keem in goal. That's a very poor clearance. Quaresma still on the right for the moment, but this is the opportunity here to deliver. That's kept in very well indeed there. An opportunity again to create. That's Bareles. Paulo Assunção. Quaresma's cross, too close to the keeper this time.
But it's just too easy, isn't it? He's now on that other side. And they're just playing from side to side. It's exploiting the weakness they find that they've got in both fullbacks.
Paulo Jorge playing it inside to Nuno Gomes. There's Leo trying to get past on the outside to deliver. It's a good pull back. Fine attempt again. And another brilliant save. Paulo Jorge can't believe that. Helton again to Porto's rescue. So there are some cracks appearing in this Porto defence. Well, especially attacks coming in from the Benfica left. Fantastic goalkeeping again.
It's amazing to say that's the difference. The goalkeeper's made two world-class saves when they haven't really been in the game.
Paulo Jorge again playing it across the near post. Was it kept in by Helton?
This is the pullback, and it's come through the defender's legs. And the goalkeeper again hasn't seen it.
Paulo Jorge so close there. What a difference that might have made right on the half-time whistle. There will be a little bit of extra time but at the end of the first half after that injury to Anderson. 1 minute being allowed only. Far-flung ball goes behind for the goal kick. Well, there have been a couple of reminders now for Porto that Benfica remain a threat.
Well, they've been both shots inside the box, but it has been comprehensive really for Porto in this first half. Still a little bit of a reminder that you have to still defend. As good as the forward play has been, and just on those couple of occasions, Benfica could have been back in the match.
Well, here's Luisao. Very interesting indeed the way the game is unfolding. Benfica still having a threat. Helton's brought off a couple of fantastic saves. Here's Leo. Back to Petit. The referee checks his watch. The half-time whistle goes, I think. No? Yes, it has. Simao didn't hear that. So it's been very impressive from Porto. Took the lead in 12 minutes through Lisandro Lopez. A second to Ricardo Quaresma. That was a classic at half-time. It's Porto 2, Benfica 0.
Well, it's been at times a breathtaking display of one-touch quality football from Porto. They deserve their lead. Benfica seek a way back in. A couple of chances, but they've been outplayed. We'll look back at the first half next.
There's live Bank of Scotland Premier League action with Dundee United versus Rangers this Sunday on Setanta Sports. Dundee United versus Rangers, live from Tannadice this Sunday, only on Setanta Sports.
Setanta Sports and NTL have just added an 8th channel, Chelsea TV, to their digital sports pack. Watch top American sports on NASN, Racing UK and Racing World. Get Setanta Sports 1, Setanta Sports 2 and the club channels, Celtic TV, Rangers TV and now Chelsea TV. 8 channels from Setanta on NTL Digital. Call NTL on 1-800-234-234 or go to setanta.com for details.
This November, Setanta Sports brings you a host of live football. Watch live Champions League as we bring you action from match days 4 and 5. Watch live Premiership football when champions Chelsea take on Watford, Liverpool are at home to Man City. We'll also continue our live coverage of the Euro 2008 qualifiers and all the action from the Scottish Premier League. Just some of your football highlights this November, right here on Setanta Sports. Live and exclusive coverage of the Magners League continues on Setanta Sports this Sunday. Heineken Cup holders Munster travel to Stradey Park as they take on a committed Clonethley Scarlet side inspired by Welsh international halfbacks Dwayne Peel and Stephen Jones. The Magners League, Scarlets versus Munster, live and exclusive on Setanta Sports.
With an ordinary mortgage, you never seem to be doing any more than just chipping away at it, no matter how much you pay off each month.
That's why you should switch to an offset flexible mortgage from First Active. It lets you use any money you have in your current account, plus any money you have in up to 3 separate savings accounts to help reduce the amount of interest you have to pay.
This could save you thousands of euro and not years off your mortgage. So, if you're happy chipping away at your own mortgage, fine. If not, call First Active now on 1850 678 910 and find out how much you could save with an offset flexible mortgage.
The problem is not harvesting the new crop of business information. It's making sense of it. With enterprise intelligence from SAS, you can harness the information and put the knowledge you need within reach. SAS, the power to know.
Living the life, loving the music. RTE2 FM.
Fantasy Lights design and install Christmas themes for hotels, shopping centres and chambers of commerce with all the latest in LED 3D lighting animation. As Ireland's longest established Christmas supplier, we service businesses nationwide including Galway, Limerick and Killarney with the biggest range of indoor and outdoor lighting. Fantasy Lights also supply large indoor and outdoor trees for the festive season. Visit our showrooms today at Walkinstown.
Dolce & Gabbana, Boss, Corneliane. For a look of elegance and distinction, there is only one place to shop in Dublin. Michael Barry Man's Shop. For business wear to casual wear to formal wear. You will find everything you need. Michael Barry Man's Shop, for the cutting edge in menswear.
Drinking tonight, busy tomorrow. Then you need Lifeline Hangover Defence. The hangover defence that starts working while you're drinking. Available from all good pharmacies. Look for Lifeline Hangover Defence.
Setanta Sports brings you more live rugby this November. Catch all the action from the Magners League as Leinster, Munster and Connacht do battle home and away for this prestigious prize. Watch more live rugby as the best sides in France contend for the top 14 title. Live rugby this November on Setanta Sports.
Hi, I'm Luke Donald and I'm excited to have Setanta Golf Channel as our golf partner.
Hi, I'm David Howell. Setanta Golf Channel is the place to watch the PGA Tour.
Live and exclusive coverage of the Magners League continues on Setanta Sports this Saturday. Paul Turner's Dragons will be looking to maintain their early season form as they travel to Donnybrook to take on Leinster. The Magners League, Leinster versus Dragons this Saturday from 7, live and exclusive on Setanta Sports. This November, Setanta Sports brings you a host of live football. Watch live Champions League as we bring you action from match days 4 and 5. Watch live Premiership football when champions Chelsea take on Watford and Liverpool are at home to Man City. We'll also continue our live coverage of the Euro 2008 qualifiers and all the action from the Scottish Premier League. Just some of your football highlights this November, right here on Setanta Sports.
Back to the Stadio de Dragao, and we're all set for the start of the second half, and we are looking forward, keen anticipation to this opening 10 to 15 minutes, because Benfica gave a reminder to Porto they still carry a threat. Perhaps a little bit of complacency creeping into the Porto side in the late stage of that first half, and we'll see now whether or not Benfica believe enough and can come up with something different. Do you think they can, Frank?
Well, I think what they need to do is up the tempo a little bit. They need to push forward. They need to be a bit more general energy throughout the side, and they need to put Porto under more pressure on the ball. They're allowing them just to play around them. They have very talented players, but they need to do a bit more when they get in positions like this.
Well, this was the area where they seemed to carry most threat, on the left-hand side, with Leo in particular. Simao also in that area, and then Paulo Jorge swapped with him. That had to be saved. Good decision by Hilton. It may just have been going outside the post.
This is a long way out. The goalkeeper wasn't to know that. He's got to keep his eye on the ball. It's a good strike. Hits the ground. He does the right thing.
That was Petit with a shot. Well, he's trying to lead by example. A very experienced player now. Simao's corner kick. Retrieved here by Helder Postiga. Petit once again hounded there by Paulo Asuncao. Well, a little statement early on there perhaps from Benfica that they are here to compete. Foul there on by Fonseca.
Yeah, he's led with his arm. It's so blatant. He's looking now to get a card for it. I don't think that was it. I think it was the one before.
Was the one before, yeah. Well, yeah, dramatic explanation, but cutting no ice at all with referee Baptista. The head flick on there, causing no problems there for Benfica. Postiga on his own for the moment. Lisandro Lopez, for the most part, operating wide on the right-hand side, leaving the left-hand side of the pitch to the attacking play of Marek Cech and Quaresma. Luisao complaining bitterly about that decision. Always looks perplexed, the referee, doesn't he? Very crucial opening stages for Benfica. They're going to stay in this match. They have to at least remain only two behind after 15 minutes of the second half. Good header away by Ricardo Rocha. Here's Simao. Away from Puccelli. That's a very good ball across. A shooting chance this time. That's very good defending. Superb play at the back. It was Morales who got all the way back to do that. Certainly not the area of the pitch where he's expected. Seriously important intervention there by Morales.
Well, Paulo Jorge's touch was good, and he's paying a lot further up now with Nuno Gomez. Obviously had to do something. I think they were relying more on Kike Fonseca to try and get up with him, but they've pushed him up there now and making more of a threat. But of course, I think really the big problem for them has been getting near the ball in the first half. Porto have been able to play at ease. They'll take more of a chance now and leave some spaces behind.
Chile for Lisandro Lopez at full stretch there. Well, could never redeem the pass back, that's for sure. Caceres. The referee accepted that instantly. This is Fonseca. He has Paulo Jorge on the left. Well, I'm not sure he was trying to do other than cross the ball, but it almost got Helton off his line.
And that was a cross. A mishit one too near to the goalkeeper. He's looked impressive, hasn't he, the goalkeeper? It's amazing to say that with the amount of possession and attacks they've had in that first half. Has been one of their better players.
Petit's pass, it wasn't read there, though, on the flank. Simao was on his heels. Leo to Simao, Simao again. That's good control by Simao. Porto defence closing in very effectively around that 18-yard box. Well, a little more fight about the Benfica side the second half. They really have been fired up by Fernando Santos. There's Paulo Jorge, who certainly has put himself about at the start of the second half.
Yeah, I'd like to be in a fly on the wall at half-time. He certainly got into them.
Well, he's getting a response, and that augurs well for the game. It's a free kick, though, with foul on Postiga. Heavy challenge by Ricardo Rocha, and then the drag back there, pulling him back. Big men have got up from the back for Porto. Again, Quaresma's delivery. This time too long. Easily taken by Keane.
Well, there's a bit more urgency about this Benfica side in the second half. Obviously, there always is when you're chasing. You have to balance it between not leaving too many gaps. If they can get this third goal, it will be making an interesting game.
Here's Simao. Held up well by Puccelli, who's played extremely well. The 21-year-old Uruguayan. Caceres. It's rather Lucho Gonzalez who plays the short pass. Quaresma back on the right. Was a very good delivery. It had to be attacked by both players. It was won by Nelson for Benfica.
Well, just allowed to put this ball in. Leo didn't go and try and close him down. In the end, Nelson did well, but he was allowed to put a quality ball in.
Well, the player attacking that for Porto was Lisandro Lopez. Charisma with the corner kick. It's well taken by Keem. Very safe handling. Not a good enough throw out. Very alert defending by Fucili. Oh, it's tough in there, all right.
It's like a wrestling ring in there rather than a 18-yard box.
Well, that's why I still favour the idea of having a goal referee to assess things like that, to prevent them happening. That's good play again by Helton.
You know, Gomez has been very disappointing in this game. I know that he hasn't had a lot of service, but I still feel that he can do a bit more, being one of the more experienced players.
Another heavy challenge there on Postiga. Ricardo Rocha quickly to him. Well, they're showing a lot of respect to Postiga by virtue of the challenges they've inflicted on him. Well, it was Katsourannis and then Ricardo Rocha who did the damage. Katsourannis certainly makes a tackle or two, doesn't he? The man who,
yeah, I think him and Petit have had to walk overtime in that middle of the park.
So Nuno Assis has joined the fray, replacing Paulo Jorge. Well, Nuno Assis, very influential player normally. Got a lot of top-level football, signed from Vitória Guimarães 2 years ago. Another fine save by Keem. Well, they really are testing the Benfica keeper at every turn. Postiga on the turn.
Well, every chance he gets the turn, he maybe feels he's got a chance. That was fairly straight, and you would expect the keeper to save that. Not the tallest, is he?
Work to do from the corner kick. Porto looking for that killer goal. Retrieved here by Moreles. Done some very good work for Porto since coming on for Anderson. Header away reaches Quaresma. And he's been fouled at the edge of the area by Nuno Assis. Welcome to the match.
Well, he made more of it. He did catch his toe, but he went down as if it was a really heavy challenge.
Nothing too severe. Well, it's ideal for a left-footed player. That's why I don't think it's going to be Quaresma to take this. It's Cech who takes it. Marek Cech with a very cultured left foot. Slovakian fullback. Quaresma left it to him.
And always going up and over the bar. Good pace on it, but never really troubling the goalkeeper.
Benfica still looking for the moment of the game which will bring them back in contention. Strong challenge there again by Fucili on Nuno Gomes. No joy for Simao. He really has been closed down very rapidly by the Porto defenders. This is Marek Cech, who's been so impressive at left back. Postiga, Moreles, caught there. No doubt about that. Katsourannis.
Well, it's doubtful whether there was any contact there.
Free kick given. Here's Lisandro Lopez. Held up well by young Nelson, the fullback, who's earned the goal kick with his efforts. Argentinian Lisandro Lopez from Racing Club. Not the flamboyant kind of striker, but effective nonetheless.
I think he works very hard. Probably the parts of it we don't even see, like getting back in and filling the holes, but joins up well with Postiga.
All the confidence apparent there in Postiga. Petit making a couple of really tough challenges. And the whistle is gone.
I think the referee did really well there. He let things go. It was both sets of players competing. There was no nasty, no high feet. But then Petit just comes in the back, and there's the foul. No doubt about that.
It's a heavy one too by Leo and Morelos.
Yeah, but he just used his body well. But
well, is this charisma territory? Certainly got his eye on the opportunity. Well, he got it up and over, but without enough pace to trouble Keem in goal.
that has to be in the corner to trouble the goalkeeper. Straightforward.
Fine interception there by Paulo Assunção. Postiga again. Good play. Delivery good also, and a very difficult ball to defend. Nelson did extremely well. Lisandro Lopez coming in behind him. Defender had to get there first.
This is brilliant play by Postiga. But Nelson does brilliantly. Decides to let the Lisandro go and see the ball off. He could have easily put it in his net. Great defending.
Ujili again with this long throw. Good distance. Awkward for Lasal. Get some help there to get the ball away from Cachoranes.
Well, they're coming back on strong again, Porto, aren't they? Just feel him starting to get a grip on the game again.
Fernando Santos about to make another change, noting the alteration to hand the fourth official. Paulo Assunção lots forward, but Porto clearly now contemplating the killer goal. They've held on solidly in the opening 10 to 15 minutes of the second half. Well, they care deeply here in Porto about the team.
I think that was the goalkeeper, just kicked the ball. There was another ball on the pitch, he just kicked it back into the crowd. They just reacted to it.
Paulo Assunção. Lucho Gonzalez unable to play the pass on that he wanted. It's better from Benfica. They are sharper and more committed to the tackles than they were for a long period in that first half. Still need something to inspire them. That's Samao's pass, forcing Nelson to turn back. It's Samao again. So much expected of him. Nuno Gomez with a layoff. Nuno Assis short for Petit. Cachoranes has given it away almost, though Leo was quick enough.
They're still working well, aren't they? The Porto players are still closing down, so right. We need to do something special to get past us here.
A strong play on the flank there from Nelson, trying to make an impression. It was Lisandro Lopez who was quite prepared to track him all the way back.
Well, this is what we talked about before, wasn't it? We talked about being able to do everything in the game, not just there to score goals or maybe create goals. Work the whole way up the flank. You've got a job to do defensively. I think they're going to bring on the Mantorres. I think he's centre forward. Without doubt, Nuno Gomez was so ineffective.
They really need something, don't they? Mantorres is being prepared for action. And you would say that Nuno Gomez must be the hot favourite to be withdrawn.
Well, he's hardly done anything in the game. But what they're looking now, Mantorres is a very physical player. Big, tall centre forward. Maybe they've just got to start seeing if he can upset the two centre-backs, because they've looked very, very safe tonight. Pepe and Bruno Alves, it's just been so easy for them.
Well, it's Fonseca who's withdrawn. Well, I'm going to say I think he's got a grievance, because he's contributed much more to me than Nuno Gomez has.
Unless they're just going to go for broke and maybe go more direct, that can be the only other thing. This is a big guy.
The Angolan centre forward. Certainly gives them a physical threat, which has been missing when they get the ball in the box. So clearly he's going to partner Nuno Gomez, it would appear.
Well, we might get a bit more out of Nuno Gomez if somebody else could take the physical part. There's the note from the coach. This is what you've got to do.
Message to Petit.
maybe it's just that's the IOU.
Flighted in to the near post area where it's well defended. Well, Porto have everyone back. Postiga was the player who made that headed clearance. Well, the flick on's good. They're back in the game. Lucho Gonzalez. Oh, a fine header there by Lucho Gonzalez, and suddenly out of the blue, no, it's Katsourannis, of course, who scored. Katsourannis has scored. The Greek international from AEK.
Well, look where he heads the ball from. Nobody on the near post, nobody on the far post, and he's headed it in from almost 8 yards out. No cover whatsoever for the goalkeeper. Well, that was really no threat. It didn't look like there was a threat from that corner, certainly from where he was heading it. And that really turned it round.
Out of the blue, Benfica right back in the match. It's been Kostas Katsourannis who's headed in the goal, which gives them a lifeline. 63 minutes gone. Well, Mantoras hadn't even touched the ball before that goal was scored. So for Porto, they now have to come again. Good movement up front. Luçao, a very important interception there, halting the progress there of Postiga. Well, the referee will take action here. Luçao's in trouble. A little work for Luçao, but Niusois is in trouble for that little bit of wrestling. What complaint does he have?
Well, I think he was saying that he was just interfering with his trying to close the ball down. The referee's remained calm, hasn't reacted to the crowd. It's still a foul.
Quaresma's ball blocked by the two-man wall. There's a clash inside the 6-yard box. Good play again by Czech, but the pass couldn't be collected there. Well, things have changed dramatically now. Benfica right back in with a chance. Solemn faces now in the Porto stands. Well, a master stroke, you could call it, by the coach. But the man he brought on perhaps attracted a lot of attention by his physique inside the box. Mantoras. Benfica now in a hurry. They have something to cling to.
Just went to sleep on the corner. And no cover on the near post.
Here's Mantoras.
When you think of the distance that he's headed the ball from, and it's only a flick, it isn't a powerful header, he's flicked it on the near post, and there's nobody there.
Well, Helton certainly couldn't be blamed for that. Had there been anyone on the post, they would have headed that clearly away from the near post area. Samao flights it in. Petit trying to retrieve, put under pressure straight away, and he's going to get a free kick. Foul by Quaresma.
Well, that certainly give them a lift, doesn't it, Jock? They're in a position now where they feel they can get something from this match. Not as clear cut as we expected in the first half, after the first 20 minutes or so.
Nelson now with a free kick. Into the danger area it goes. Helton comes to claim. He's been very impressive, very confident throughout the match. Well, the picture has changed totally by virtue of that. Free kick given, obviously. Fernando Sanders looks unhappy, but I can't think why.
I just
thought
they got the goal just when Porto were starting to get a grip on it again in the second half. When they got the corner, just fall asleep for a second, and all of a sudden the whole way the game has gone has changed.
Lucha Gonzalez. Trickery there from Quaresma. Well, Porto weren't champions for nothing. They have the kind of qualities that can deal with a setback like that. And now the game complexion has changed completely. That's why there's anxiety among these Porto supporters. Bruno Alves with a long clearance. Turned away by Nelson.
Yeah, but put on the pressure there. Again, Lissandro doing a great job. Working both ways.
That's fine play again. Shooting chance was on the edge of the area for Postiga. Morelos stumbles, still managed to get the ball across. Won by Ricardo Rocha. Here's Quaresma. Well, a break there for Benfica. Here's Leo, has to hurry. Well, the foul is given against Nuno Gomes for his challenge there on Pepe. Nuno Gomes not too happy about that, but had a case. Lucha Gonzalez now. Opportunity now for the cross once again, and Leo was quickly to the danger point. The Benfica fullback.
And the Porto coach there, we saw a moment ago, Giswaldo Ferreira, looked very, very worried.
Chili's long throw.
I think he knows it. Yeah, I think he knows how important that is, Joe Kemp, the third goal. Because it hasn't settled down since then. You get to the last 10-15 minutes.
Well, Ferreira looking a little more tense now, isn't he? They all looked so comfortable for so long. Now there's a job to be done. 20 minutes remaining. Benfica with some new belief, but that was an error. Possession. Played across Herman Torres with too much pace for Nelson. Well, Fonseca looking on there. Wasn't too happy, I don't think, when he was taken off by the coach.
I have to say, I was a bit surprised. He wasn't that effective, but he wasn't ineffective either.
And he was busy.
Yeah, he was coming more into the game. I thought he had a poor, slow start to it.
Good interception there by Quaresma. The gap to go through. Leo thought of blocking him off completely.
Oh.
Well, no, Postiga deceived by that misunderstanding. Porto still trying to come forward, looking for the killer goal. This is Quaresma. Not the worst ball. Had someone been able to get on the end of that of the near post, but it was a shade too high. Here's Mantoras.
I think he needed someone to get across the face of the goalkeeper. It was too easy for him to read it. Not even a challenge there.
He's forward. Well, no compromise there on the part of Pepe going into Simao. Simao again, Leo on the outside. This caused danger in the first half. Good work done there to halt his progress, though.
Well, he could have delivered that early.
Officially doing well. Well, let's look at the post here for this corner kick. See if any change has been made. There has been no change made. The system remains the same. Paulo Asensio has given it away there to Petit. This is Nelson. Well, Porto can expect some heavy pressure in the closing stages here if they can't get a third goal. The dummy was good. Well, Nuno Gomes very clever with that dummy. Mantoras unable to take full advantage.
Well, he never reacted. It was a good dummy. defender knocked it onto Montoros, but he didn't react and get his foot round it at all. I think he's always to expect the ball to come through, expect the defender to miss it, even though he might not. 9 times out of 10, the 10th time you don't go, it comes through and you're kicking yourself.
Heavy challenge by Bruno Alves there on Montoras, and the result is a free kick to Benfica. The referee's not happy with Bruno Alves. He wants a word with him. Calls him across. Correctly accepts that without any real debate. More to concentrate upon than that, I think. The arm was up all right.
Well, his knee in the back, I think he's looking to soften him up.
Nuno Assis rather. Nuno Assis going inside. Support on his right from Petit. Good interception by Foucheli. Somehow with a boot too high. Another change to be made by Porto. And instruction as well to Ferreira. The change is going to be made, I think, before the goal kick is taken. Well, let's see who's coming off. It is the captain, Lucho Gonzalez, who's withdrawn. No, he's going for some instructions. It's Quaresma coming off. Well, he has had a quiet second half compared to what he contributed in the first half. And coming on is Tariq Sekdioui, a Moroccan, signed from AZ Alkmaar in Holland in the summer. What a great goal it was by Quaresma. That's what may well turn out to be the winning goal. If things stay the same, it will do. Another crunching challenge by Lusal. The referee was quite happy with that, though. Look at the pace at the back of Pepe. What an asset that is for a tall defender. Ran away from Nuno Gomes there. Here's Bruno Alves. There it is. Paulo Assunção. Foucheli. Sekdioui. Good turn there again by Paulo Assunção. Well, a willing figure of Foucheli gives chase. I wondered if that was wise in the circumstance. It was obvious he wasn't going to get there, but his enthusiasm's infectious.
I just think they haven't had it all their own way in the second half. It does affect the more pressure you put on.
Free kick given for the challenge for the high ball. This time Pepe penalised. Petit in a hurry. Well, very impressive performance from Foucheli. Fitness levels now being tested to the full. That's not what either club, I think, ideally would want, with Champions League work to come in midweek. Remember, Porto go to Hamburg, Benfica entertains Celtic.
They have some options here, don't they? Some big lads. I don't hope he's not going to have the shot from here.
Petit looks as though he might, but no, he doesn't. It's well defended. It was played in there by Simao. Petit helping it across here to check. Challenge by Foucheli. You've been trouble with that, all right. The yellow card is out.
And this was reckless. Straight through the player.
Well, the damage inflicted on Nuno Assis. Oh, he'll be all right. He managed to leap away from that, rather.
He did ride it out, but he saw it coming. He still made contact.
Bad tackle by the youngster.
I think in certain circumstances they might have seen a red for that.
Somehow flighting it in. It's well defended inside the area there. And the free kick goes to Porto, relieving some pressure. Well, the game is not ending the way we anticipated, Frank.
No, Bit of nervous about Porto now. I just think that they, as you would expect, that third goal has made whoever get it would not so much dictate, but certainly Porto more like hanging on. They just sing it home and seeing the game out and getting the 3 points. Still a way to go yet.
Sektiui trying to get the better of Czech. This Postiga. The clearance reaches Mantoras. Well, Porto come again with Lisandro Lopez taking on Luisao. Up to safety once again by Katsuranis. This is Nuno Gomez, met solidly by Pepe.
Well, that's not really a race, is it?
Immensely quick. And Nuno Gomez isn't the quickest either, but Pepe is lightning for a big centre-back.
They are chasing, so they're going to have to try everything.
Challenge made by Lucho Gonzalez. Throw goes to Porto. Petit plays it forward. Here's Nuno Gonzalez. Mantoras. Back here with Nelson. Can Benfica save the match? A match which seemed well beyond them in the first half. It's all different now, though. Nuno Assis trying to go around Lucho Gonzalez. Needs some help here from Katsuranis. That's a fine pass. Well, deflection made that easy for Hilton.
I think they were looking for a delivery early when the ball was laid out. The pass was here, he came inside. Wrong choice. There was a Nelson coming up on the outside. In the end, it was quite easy for the goalkeeper, but I think the cross-in might have been a better option.
And Torres again. He's done more already than his previous strikers have done. Yellow card shown there by referee Batista. Paulo Assunção. Well, here's why. He's high with the challenge and he held up Simao. So yellow card for the Brazilian.
I think the sort of challenge you see in Britain every week. That's the yellow cards for that.
Another dangerous ball flighted into the area there, but now Porto can break. Mistake made in possession. Paulo Assunção plays it wide. This is Marek Cech, one of the fine players in this Porto side. He's been outstanding tonight. Very good feet. Oh, but tried it out in the end. Now he's right out of position. As Simao breaks. Nuno Gomez makes a run. Mantoras is on the right. This is Nuno Gomez. Now Mantoras. Nelson supporting from right back. It's a good ball across. It's brilliant play. Nuno Gomez has equalised. Wonderful play from Benfica at their very best. And Nuno Gomez does what he does best. Finishes. Excellent build-up play.
Well, this has been on the cards, hasn't it, for a while? They've just gone into the shell a little bit. At Porto, really great work on that right-hand side by Nelson. Made his way up, long way up. Delivery was excellent. And Nuno Gomez, who's been ineffective all night, gets on the end of that one. And nobody remembered it. Won't remember his whole game, but the fact that he got the goal, really well worked. And we can't underestimate the part Mantoras played in that one.
Well, the pass from Mantoras to Nelson was the one which made the whole thing, because it opened up Porto completely. Hilton disconsolate.
Well, when you think of the first half, the Porto weren't even with a shout. The amount of shots on the target in that first half by, Benfica, but the amount of shots by Porto in that first half, it's just a matter of how many. And he only got 2. And
well, I wonder now, do Benfica have the cheek, if you like, to win this?
They have a chance when you think of the 2 saves by Hilton in that first half.
Well, what a match this has been. All Porto in the first half. Bruno Mares is on instead of Paulo Assunção. Well, it's a real concern this for Porto. A major blow to their championship hopes, but also a huge concern that they can allow such a dominant position to be eroded as they have in this second half. There's the story of the game so far. Perhaps 10 minutes left. Have they the audacity, Benfica, to go and win this? What a boost it would be for them. Anyone who happened to watch the first half only would just never believe the scoreline.
You've got to give credit to the coach. The substitutions were perfectly timed and effective.
Oh, great play by Nelson. Eased out at the end there by Czech, and then the corner kick prevented, I think.
Yeah, that was a bit obvious. They're hanging on now, Porto. A lot of weird faces, yeah.
Such a transformation. I mean, really, it's remarkable how the game has changed. And the debate, or the dilemma rather, for the Benfica, I suppose, is do they settle for this or press on, try to win the game? I think with the gathering momentum, they should keep on going, don't you think so?
Yeah, I think so, right to the end. You don't try and sit back. If you lose, if you actually lose that momentum and decide that you're going to settle for the draw, you could allow them back in. As we saw last night, 4 goals in the last 10 minutes.
Oh, the tackles are heavy and committed now. Leo is penalised. Makes his way back to defend. The last thing that, of course, Benfica want to do now is slip up at this stage. Bruno Mares is the player brought down. Substitute. Well, this is good play again from Porto. And the block was made just in time by Ricardo Rocha. Nuno Assis. Petit. Ricardo Rocha. That's Bruno Alves. Mantoras doing very well indeed. Good exchange. And a very fine change of play there by Mantoras. Poor ball back inside though. Error made there by Nelson. Well, he's a very deflated man, Jesualdo Ferreira. Utterly dominant in the first half, his team. Still required 2 great saves, as you say though, Frank, from Hilton to stay in front by 2 goals to 0 at half time.
Well, that belief that we know that Benfica has returned. They're worthy supporters. They know they could lose this.
Well, he's enjoying himself hugely, the young substitute, Montaras. Or Montoras. So the set piece for Benfica to exploit here. Montoras will be a major threat inside the area. Simão's delivery normally very good indeed from this position. High line held by Porto at the start. Short ball to Petit. Won well by Pepe inside the area. There's no one out there to collect the loose ball. It's going to come straight back in. There's Leo. Away from Sectiue. Oh, that's good play by Postiga. Short with a pass though. Nuno Assis. And the offside flag is up.
I think we just saw the difference with the Sporting team, the Benfica team in this second half. They weren't winning those loose balls in around the middle of the park. Now all of a sudden they're winning everything. This is a tight offside.
Maybe just about. But a big call it is now for a linesman. Safer perhaps to have the flag up than not to have it up. But it's tight anyway. Nelson in heavily behind, and that's going to be free kick. It's Lisandro Lopez who felt the brunt of that.
I don't really think we've seen too many creative things from Porto in the second half. They have tended to sit back a little bit and allowed Benfica back into this match.
Well, they did so really after the second goal. They clearly thought it was well won. That's Morelos sliding it in. Oh, some very good strong play, and Petit makes the tackle. A request for a penalty kick. It's not being given. Bruno Moraes was the player. Such a worried look in the face of that referee right from the start.
Bit of a dive there. Well, in fact, he's saying he's pulled him down. He pulled Petit down, and he did. Takes the pressure off Benfica.
Well, Postiga's played well, but hasn't been able to do anything significant in the second half. Waiting for the additional time to be shown by the fourth official. Keem launching it downfield. Possession now falling to Benfica all the time. Every loose ball now seems to go to a player in red. Nuno Assis. Nuno Gomez. And Torres. Played back by Leo to Ricardo Rocha. Chance on here for Lopez, for Nuno Gomez rather, as the acrobatic clearance is made by Pepe.
Well, the crowd are going mad there because the Mantaras was offside, but he wasn't involved. The ball didn't come to him.
Nuno Assis, good play. That's very well read by Pepe. Even an excellent interception. What a good tackle by Leo. Oh, he goes again. It's Nuno Gomez to his left. The space it goes, but there's no Benfica player to take advantage. That's a giveaway by Nuno Gomez. He's not the same player outside the penalty box, is he?
Not at all.
Good challenge made by Luisao. It's Benfica who have all the impetus now, all the momentum. Porto, amazingly now, appear to be hanging on at home, having led by 2-0. 3 minutes of additional time. Morelos comes forward. Pusher, he couldn't get that beyond Leo. Well, can't quite understand that. It didn't seem to be driven so hard at him, but how are we to know, Frank?
Well, we'll see again.
Anatomy felt the brunt of that.
I think that caught him the lower chest. So he's going to milk it. He's going to try and run time down, as you would expect.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. Fernando Santos looking for a substitute just in case. Has he got one left? I can't remember. I think he's got one to come if it need be. Now Benfica required to defend. Simao is organising, the captain. Influencing the timekeeping. Virtually's long throw. Helped on there. A chance. Oh, they scored! It's Bruno Moraes who's won the game for Porto. Right out of the blue, the substitute. Who would have believed it? Effectively back on the ropes, Porto. And they produced a stunning winner right at the end. Trouble there with the players in the crowd. Nelson is disconsolate, sitting down there. They can't believe it. Ricardo Rocha looks on. They have to retrieve the players from the crowd. Celebrations go on there. Well, the long throw did the damage from Fucili.
Well, they never saw this off. This was a nothing ball thrown in. A little bit of a flick on.
Well,
that's the ball bounced up. There's Bruno Moraes, knocks it straight down into the corner. Nobody mark him. He followed the game in. Followed the ball on, and he has a free header. Well, first real threat in the second half from Porto.
Quite incredible. What a finish this has been. Well, the Porto supporters who've been muted for so long in the second half. The Benfica players are stunned. They can't believe it. They came back so well. There'll be scarcely time to play on from here. 3 minutes are almost up. Nuno Assis playing it inside. This is Petit. Is there time for Benfica? Headed away by Pepe. Will he allow extra time for the time taken for the celebration of the goal? That's the question. There's Nuno Gomes trying to get the ball inside. And Torres met solidly there by Bruno Alves, who was brave with the challenge. The final whistle has gone. Porto have won the match right at the death. Incredible. What a turnaround. Back from 2-0 to 2-2, then 3-2 to Porto at the end.
There's live Bank of Scotland Premier League action with Dundee United versus Rangers this Sunday on Setanta Sports. Dundee United versus Rangers, live from Tannadice this Sunday, only on Setanta Sports.
Setanta Sports and NTL have just added an 8th channel, Chelsea TV, to their digital sports pack. Watch top American sports on NASN, Racing UK and Racing World. Get Setanta Sports 1, Setanta Sports 2 and the club channels, Celtic TV, Rangers TV and now Chelsea TV. 8 channels from Setanta on NTL Digital. Call NTL on 1-800-234-234 or go to setanta.com for details.
This November, Setanta Sports brings you a host of live football. Watch live Champions League as we bring you action from match days 4 and 5. Watch live Premiership football when champions Chelsea take on Watford, Liverpool are at home to Man City. We'll also continue our live coverage of the Euro 2008 qualifiers and all the action from the Scottish Premier League. Just some of your football highlights this November, right here on Setanta Sports.
Hi, I'm Luke Donald and I'm excited to have Setanta Golf Channel as our golf partner.
Hi, I'm David Howell. Setanta Golf Channel is the place to watch the PGA Tour.
Of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Think to myself, what a wonderful world.
If you like easy, you'll like Irish Broadband. It's wireless, so you don't need a phone line. Just plug in and go.
Milwaukee's revolutionary V28 lithium-ion technology, available in Ireland from M. Donnelly. Move to a higher power.
Tried low carbs? Tried low fat? Tried the gym? Does nothing seem to work? Tired of yo-yo dieting? Advanced cosmetic surgery can help you achieve safe, reliable weight loss results. Stomach banding puts you in control. To arrange a private consultation with Advanced Cosmetic Surgery, call the experts on 1850 2040 90 or see www.cosmeticsurgery.ie.
Kitchen World have been making it easy to create the kitchen of your dreams for over 30 years. Just bring in your measurements and our computer-aided design team will transform your ideas into reality. Then spice up your ideas with hundreds of accessories and a full range of appliances, with worktops in polished granite and laminates. And you will save big at Kitchen World. Your dream kitchen will be a fraction of the cost of a similar kitchen purchased anywhere else. See your new kitchen come to life with the experts at Kitchen World.
At Window Warehouse, you can rely on a fast, efficient and flexible service on everything from domestic to large-scale commercial projects. We offer a full range of products covering all colours and finishes. And with a full backup service, a 10-year guarantee and 25 years experience, you know we've got you covered. Window Warehouse. Let in the light.
At FuturePrint, we provide a top-quality printing service for the entire business community. Our client base has been built up over time and maintained due to the specific attention to detail that is shown to each and every project. FuturePrint gears its service to suit your requirements so that your job is produced and dispatched in the way that you want. FuturePrint. Quality and excellence in people and print.
Dolce & Gabbana, Boss, Corneliane. For a look of elegance and distinction, there is only one place to shop in Dublin. Michael Barry Man's Shop. For business wear to casual wear to formal wear, you will find everything you need. Michael Barry Man's Shop, for the cutting edge in menswear.
Live and exclusive coverage of the Magners League continues on Setanta Sports this Sunday. Heineken Cup holders Munster travel to Stradey Park as they take on a committed Clonethley Scarlet side, inspired by Welsh international halfbacks Dwayne Peel and Stephen Jones. The Magners League, Scarlets versus Munster, live and exclusive on Setanta Sports.
Join Setanta Sports now. Republic of Ireland subscribers text JOIN to 53539 or text JOIN to 81108 if you're texting from Northern Ireland. Republic of Ireland texts cost 25 cents plus network charges. Northern Ireland standard rates apply.
There's live Bank of Scotland Premier League action with Dundee United versus Rangers this Sunday on Setanta Sports. Dundee United versus Rangers, live from Tannadice this Sunday, only on Setanta Sports. Setanta Sports brings you more live rugby this November. Catch all the action from the Magners League as Leinster, Munster and Connacht battle home and away for this prestigious prize. Watch more live rugby as the best sides in France contend for the top 14 title. Live rugby this November on Setanta Sports.
Racing replay on Thursday, the 2nd of November, and Haydock staged an excellent card, 7 races in total. The going was described as good. And the very first contest was the Bet365 Juvenile Novices Hurdle. 2 miles was the trip, just the 5 runners. Touch of Ivory was the odds-on favourite at 10-11, ahead of Greyside at 7-2. Stuart Machin, your commentator.
Starter gets them away, although it took Archimboldo in the orange and black jacket a little bit of persuading to jump off. He has done so, currently occupies 3rd place as they make their way up to the first of 8 flights in this Bet365 Juvenile Novices Hurdle. And Greyside has been handed a lead of half a dozen lengths in the early stages. Takes the first fluently enough after a bit of coaxing and is clear. The chasers, headed by Speed Up in the Pale Silks, Archimboldo, who races freely, and out wide in the cheek pieces Touch of Ivory, and Princess Aeneas last of the quintet as they step at flight number 2, which Greyside was awkward, as at the back of the field was Princess of Aeneas. So up to the judge they come, plenty of galloping on the flat now before they have to leave the ground again. And when they get there, it will be the 3rd, and it'll be the first of 3 flights in the back straight. And Paddy Brennan and the Andrew and Graham Wiley Silks aboard Greyside gives a lead to his 4 rivals here. Only about 3 lengths up though. Archimboldo settled a little better now, having moved up into 2nd ahead of Speed Up. And then Touch of Ivory racing out wide into the paddock turn, and 2 lengths to Princess of Aeneas, that very slight colour change, the yellow cap now rather than the blue. So away to the back straight they go, and to the end of 4.5, 5 furlongs, Greyside leading, but almost joined by Archimboldo under young Lee Edwards. 3 or 4 length break to Speed Up, who races on the near side of Touch of Ivory, and a couple of lengths away to Princess of Aeneas. Slightly downhill for the next 100 yards before they get to the first down the far side. And Archimboldo ranging up to apply a bit of pressure here to Greyside, though it remains fairly steady pace.
Start further south for East Anglia, the southeast of England, but on the cool side with plenty of sunshine on offer. And any mist and fog will gradually clear from the likes of Bristol, Bath, Devon and Cornwall this morning. Then a dry day with plenty of sunshine to be had. So this morning we've got patchy frost and fog across southern parts of England and Wales. This will gradually disperse as the morning wears on. Then for most of the UK, it's a decent day. It'll be dry with lengthy spells of sunshine, but always more in the way of cloud for western Scotland, northwest England, Northern Ireland too. The odd spot of rain and quite gusty winds for eastern Scotland and northeastern parts of England too. Let's take another tour then for this